going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, a couple of key big-time older players for USC have decided to either skip the Cotton Bowl or declare for the NFL draft. I know both Jordan Addison, the top wide receiver, and the offensive lineman Andrew Vorhees are skipping the Cotton Bowl, but it does look like Andrew Vorhees himself is declaring for the draft as well. Not surprising. He tried to come back late in the year, but just wasn't working. He had to get taken out of that Pac-12 championship game, so at least he's going to try to be healthy enough to get drafted pretty high, because I know even last year he was projected a good high draft pick, so maybe he did better for himself, or he might have hurt himself as well because he got injured. But we'll see. No word yet on Jordan Addison officially if he is declaring for the draft. I know he has one more year left, but signs are pointing since Dorian Singer, that wide receiver from Arizona, decided to transfer over. It kind of looks like they probably were looking for a replacement for Addison either way. And especially when Addison is compared to other great wide receivers and maybe going to get selected in the first round, it's kind of dumb that you don't go anyways, especially if you're going to be projected that high. Might as well just go. So good luck to go to those guys either way. And when it comes to USC basketball, yes, they played, I believe it was Wednesday, against Colorado State and ended up getting that victory 73-64. So not that high scoring of a game. But Boogie Ellis ended up leading them in scoring with 19. The older senior as well, Drew Peterson, threw in 18. And the two young guys, Trey White and Reese Dixon Waters, ended up throwing in 10 points as well. So this team they were supposed to beat. It is kind of like a weird like mini tournament, because it was like a showcase actually, because they didn't play any other games out there in Arizona, but I guess it was for the Jerry Colangelo, something like that. I know he had something to do with USA basketball, but either way, they were able to win it and see what else they can do. They aren't that bad. They got like a 10-3 record, which is a lot better than most people had them starting. So we'll see what they can do during March. And then USC, not only football, but the entire athletic department is getting like major upgrades and getting a lot of commitments from really top athletes all over their sports. But they're, especially as of this second, they have 5 commits that are #1 in their rankings of their sport. So obviously they have the quarterback Malachi Nelson, who's number 1 ranked on ESPN. So I'm taking that as a #1 player, as is USC in this press release. But they also have 2 of the college basketball players coming in next year for both the men's and women's. Isaiah Collier for the men's and Juju Watkins for the women's. They're both #1 players in their rankings respectfully. And then also they have the #1 women's golf player in Bailey Shoemaker and the #1 men's tennis player in Lerner Tien. So it's pretty good that they're able to get a lot more talent. For some reason they haven't been really able to get these guys. I know they got some guys in baseball, but nothing has really matriculated from there either. But we'll see what they can do as well. So it's pretty cool. A lot of talent is coming to USC, being on that campus. And when it comes to the USC recruiting class, yeah, nice picture of a better picture of all of them together. But yeah, it was a great class overall. Definitely very, when it comes to the more talented players, they are on offense, but a lot of the defensive players might be ranked a little bit lower, or only 4 stars definitely have the ability to become even better, and they project higher, which is cool. And even like a lot of these recruiting websites have those guys being, draft picks as well in their future. So see how this goes, but it's definitely very excited to see what they can do. They signed about 19 guys. Still no word on Jacoby Lane. He might be not transferring, but committing to another school, as I mentioned in the last video, but I'll find out officially on that, because today is the last day to officially sign early, as they call it, and then the next official signing day is in February. I think the first Thursday or weekend of February, something like that. And then they did officially sign, because I mentioned all those guys that said they were transferring over, but nothing was official until I think yesterday night, something like that, when they put out all these pictures out there on their social media. So obviously you remember the linebacker Mason Cobb from Oklahoma State Kyan Barnes, the defensive lineman from Arizona. Jamil Muhammad, the linebacker from Georgia State. Dorian Singer, as we mentioned before, the wide receiver from Arizona. Another Arizona player, the cornerback Christian Roland Wallace. And the punter from Arizona State, Eddie Zaplicki. I'm not going to say it correctly. Zaplicki. Some type of Polish name, I believe it is, but I think you still say the C separately. And it's kind of like how Japanese names are like that. How you say tsunami, not just tsunami. Something like that. But then when it came to On3 and their little report that they did, apparently with all the recruits that USC has coming in, they are, as of right now, ranked behind Oregon at number 2. Oregon just got a bunch of commits of really highly, supposedly talented dudes, but they didn't really get them, in my opinion. As far as them wanting to go there, I think the money was just a lot more better up there. And it's kind of surprising that it didn't happen last year, but I guess they finally got enough money together within a year and they're going to go for it all. But I believe USC has to play Oregon this year, so it'll be pretty nice to go in there and beat them this year as well with Caleb Williams. And even they lost out to that 5-star defensive end from Southern California, Mateo Uiagalelei. But I think he kind of just put USC in his top to kind of mess with them because we didn't really recruit his brother, his older brother, a few years ago out of the same school, even though he wanted to come to USC. And then he kind of just did that to throw a little bit more shade on us, I believe. But either way, see what happens. You never know. They paid for a lot of those guys, but who knows if they're going to end up staying and transferring out either way. So see how that goes. But yeah, I believe this ranking could still might have a chance to jump up there because I think they're like 12th or 13th. Some places I've seen them 10th ranked overall as far as all of college football. But they are missing out on a couple of players that are still waiting to officially sign on that February deadline. So like the top tight end in Deuce Robinson out of Arizona. Everybody's trying to get him. Alabama, Texas, Georgia, places like that. But a lot of people have been predicting him to go to USC with that special offense. So hopefully he doesn't end up going to USC and that helps out their ranking. And also a top cornerback defensively from out here in Southern California, Roderick Pleasant, who's from Garden Sarah. So they're pretty good. I think Adoree Jackson, one of the better USC defensive players in recent history, came from there as well. But he's another talented dude that he might be a 4-star, but they definitely project him as a draft pick also and really high caliber type of dude. So hopefully they can get him as well. But I think they're fighting like UCLA and a couple of the other Pac-12 schools. So we'll see. We'll find out. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on. And enjoy the holidays this weekend. Bye.